Hey guys, what's up? My name's Theo. I play middle linebacker for the Hilversum Hurricanes. That is in the Netherlands. That is in Europe. I play Euroball. I have a new camera, so we are as zoomed out as possible, and the camera is in the typical same position. It's not the same tripod. It's a little bit higher. It also allows me to hold the camera a little farther away. For those of you very long-time viewers, and I have to say very because time is a bit funky, and sometimes people who find me in October, November consider themselves long-time viewers. And while I do put out a vlog every single day, and it can feel like a long time, I haven't used a camera like this since 2020. I physically still have the camera. It's just that it's no longer waterproof because that thing doesn't close. It will close, it's just a pain to get back open. One of those that's like, hey, if it's absolutely necessary, I mean, I can jam a knife in it, whatever. It's not much of that. So anyways, welcome to the channel. Again, Mondays and Fridays are football content. They line up as the day after practices or games, as we're in that season now. On Friday's video, I do comment responses and news. Monday video is either a game day vlog, so going out to said game, whether it's a home or away, in whatever city it happens to be in. Home games are in Hilversum, but it'll also be all the game day footage and all the good shots, not an entire game day, not an entire 2-hour long game. Technically it would, if I ran it for the clock, it would be 48 minutes. Because for some reason we run 12-minute quarters. I don't know why. It's just the highlights and all the fun things, and usually plays that I'm in on much more because my vlog. And the news in the second section is pretty much team updates, league updates, things going on in the world. Probably going to talk about the Super Bowl in that section. I know it's been late, but it's a football video. I did post something Monday about prediction because we had Sunday practice, but by the time that video went live, the Super Bowl was already over. It's the fault of delaying the day after. 4 days ago, got a comment on the football uniform suit up, way a long time ago, 2016 video. Is it uncomfortable wearing all of that? That's all the gear, like the helmet, pads. This is me totally suiting up from leggings and to full gear. And I said, not for me. I'm pretty sure, but there are millions of people who play football, American football, across the world, and they seem to do it just fine. Some people might find it uncomfortable, but they usually don't last in the sport because the gear is kind of necessary. And same thing applies for ice hockey and stuff. If you can't handle wearing the helmet, the mask, the big pads, and all the skate, if you can't ice skate, you're not going to play ice hockey, sort of thing. Getting closer to game day. Someone said I called the game. I had to explain the very next day on a normal vlog. I didn't, really. I said the game would be different by 3 points by a field goal. Basically was, kind of, but it wasn't, because the points didn't match up 1 for 1. It's just that the point difference wound up being 3. So it's not like touchdown, point after, touchdown, point after, touchdown, point after, touchdown, point after, yada yada. It wasn't a match for match points. Technically, if all the points that were intended to be scored were scored, it would have been 20-24. So, but there was a missed field goal by the Rams, so they only got 23 instead of 24. I didn't quite get it. I just made a very, very, very comfortable guess. Not like the sun will rise tomorrow, but I predict there's going to be interesting weather tomorrow. It's the Netherlands. If we don't have interesting weather, people are out at the beach having a suntan. And even so, at that point, they would still be out doing it. They just be dealing with wind. But even unusual weather can be a heat wave. Users R6, 2 days ago, football uniform suit up, says, as a football player, I think it's crazy how people can run using all that. I wonder if they mean a soccer player, football. They say in the Netherlands, football. And that's for the help. I will play the first time next week. American football, bro, really helped me out with this video. So he's probably transitioning from football to American football. So for my American viewers that don't quite get that one, because you're dead, the education system has failed you, you're transferring from soccer to football. And you all can go down in the comments and rate and rage. Which one's actually, it doesn't matter. There's 7 to 8 different kinds of football. I play gridiron football or American football. There's also rugby football. There's Australian rules football. There's Gaelic football. There's association football, which is where soccer comes from. Association football player. Association footballer. Soccer. That's it. And then there's like rugby sevens, which has slightly different rules and stuff. And then Canadian has its own weird rules. So, close, but not quite. But that's like, there's multiple kinds of something that prefix football. So, deal with it. My football jersey number, No Limit JT says, locate, you can wear whatever number you want. Yes, I know. That's why I stated at the very beginning of the video that the rules are in the idea that people of this position, the rules are only for the 60s and the 70s. That's effectively it. Like, that's the only hard, fast rule, and those are ineligible players. And the only ineligible players on the field are offensive linemen in the course of normal play. If an interception has happened, then ball's fair game. If it's fumbled, offensive lineman can pick up the ball and run it in. It's happened. So, but yeah, that's why I started out that it's pretty much, I mean, when you're dealing with numbers from 1 to 99 and only 20 of them are blocked off, you're dealing with 100 numbers and a fifth of them are blocked off. This is why on that video, if you click up there, you'll go see why there's multiple ideas as to where running backs are and where kickers are and where quarterbacks are and wide receivers are all over the board. In the single digits, in the 10s, in the 80s. Tight ends are usually in the high 80s. Defensive linemen are in the 90s. However, defensive linemen, as they say here, can also be down in the... Typically, Von Miller is he is considered an outside linebacker, but he is pretty close to a defensive end in that case. And he's a pass rusher, but he wears 50 or 40. Like, he's not in the 90s, which is kind of where I say that, like, the quarterbacks, well, they tend to wear everything but the 80s, so they're just glorified wide receivers. They're just fancy receivers. When you actually look down at the rules of what makes quarterbacks special, there isn't much. Football musings and dicks, again, from October 2016, so long ago. Almost 5.5 years ago. Tina Graham asks, are you gay? Yes. Okay, so moving on to news, we have a game coming up on the 27th. That would be, well, today is the 17th, so technically 10 days from now. So we have practice tonight, practice on Sunday, practice next week, this time, and then we have a game that Sunday. So in 4 videos. So this is one. Sunday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, so whatever, we know that one. That'll be against the Crew. It'll be a home field. We'll be in the wonderful blue. We had some issues with away games needing to actually happen because our home field wasn't ready because storm came through and grass and corona and lockdowns, and our field was under construction. Reseeding, basically. And you can't walk on it for a long time. Especially you can't practice football lines. You can probably walk on it, but you can't, dig in your cleats and throw people to the ground on it, and had to wait to get the roots in during the raining season. That will also be not the inaugural game, but technically the first game of the planned thing. So the BNL is a new league, and it's being touted on all the American Football International websites by someone here from the Netherlands. I forget his name. And it's registered on the side of, it's not Belgium and it's not the Netherlands, it's something combined between them. It's very weird. I'm not sure if this is like the CEFL, which isn't necessarily Czech Republic, but there's a few there's like Austria, Czech Republic, and I think an Italian team. Switzerland might be involved in the CEFL, even though the AFL exists, the Austrian Football League, but the CEFL is also in there to incorporate a larger league. And I'm thinking the BNL might be that one. So there's much more high-level competition, and that there can still be a Belgium Cup and a Netherlands Cup, but then there's also something else. I don't know. I haven't heard much information. I'm not in the necessary groups to hear all the chitter chatter back and forth and do the translations from Dutch. Our game against Groningen back last November was technically the inaugural game, but the league wasn't created and promoted on social media until this year. And that game wound up being roped in. So, the inaugural game, the first one that we know of that we're playing a part of the BNL, and we're actively going into knowing that, is coming up on the 27th. And that's the Hilversum Hurricanes versus the Amsterdam Crusaders. And it's classic red versus blue. So anyways, yes, I'm very aware that the Rams won, Bengals lost. I'm going to say my little bit of gayness on that and say, Burrow walked out of that. Like, I didn't see the pre-thing. I only saw him walk out, and then I'm smart. I realized that he walked in that way, but he came in like a tiger striped suit with a flat hat. Bro, I don't know what's more of a loss, that hat or what happened on the field. I don't know. It was weird looking, but were there things during that game? Yeah. The game was definitely one of those that kind of kept you going. It's not like, the Seahawks Broncos back in like 2014, where it was just like a stump fest the entire time that you start wondering if it's rigged to let Seattle win something once, and that wound up causing a big inflated ego and all that jazz. And then there was the first Super Bowl after I moved here to the Netherlands was Rams Patriots, and that was a very boring game. It was 3-13. Like, nothing happened until the very end of the game. It was just like 0-3, 3-3, and then it wound up being like 13-3 at the end or something. It was like, by the time, because we don't start watching here till like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So like, here comes like 3 o'clock in the morning. We're all already drunk. We don't even care about what's going on in the game because it hasn't kept our attention. But this one, I'll say, did have its time. I did watch it the following morning. I did not stay up and watch it. I caught it 2 hours after the day. But as the app did show it to me in real time. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much that. The face masking, I've heard some people say that could have been a playmaking, game deciding call. I mean, was it? I mean, if the face masking was called, then it would have not been a pass gain for the Bengals. It would have been a loss, because face masking or pass interference is personal foul of sorts. So that would have been like back 15 yards rather than forward 20 or whatever that pass was. And it's still, but I don't know if that would have affected it much. It sucks that a penalty like that got missed, but there were so many other ones that were like, you're penalizing that. Everything was that. So I'm going to head out to practice here in a couple hours, actually. I've been snacking on carrots so that I'm not too terribly hungry, but I need to go down and eat lunch. So I will see you guys all out at the field. Again, new camera. It's waterproof, so if it does wind up raining tonight, I don't think it will. It's just very, very windy. We've got 7, 8, 9 o'clock, some sprinkles, but like nothing very much at all. It's just that we have some intense, well, maybe not for practice. Okay, whatever. I will figure some stuff out. Since I do have a different camera, I might try to get some film. I may not be also fully functional. The shoulder may be throwing me off. But yeah, I'm doing all my stuff to therapy that. I will catch you guys out at the field. All right, they're back there jumping over boxy things. I am. Okay. So we stacked the step overs, and everyone's doing little jumps over them. We're practicing outfield and basically jumping over them rather than standing underneath the goalposts and trying to jump up and touch the goalposts. But between running into the sled, really good, like it was firing people up. They're like, yeah! And then went into that, and I could feel the shoulder throbbing and whatnot. And I know you guys are like super close to my face, but anyways,
but you can't see me. But anyways, yeah, see how close you are? I keep forgetting that one. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of tripped over the box thing because 2 or 3, and I wasn't sure because I didn't have the power with my arm because it was tingly dingly, and so I tripped and landed on my arm, and it just sucked so much. But I'm probably going to get some film after this because I'm not participating in anything. I'm going to have trouble getting my pads off anyways. But yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I can rest today, use the thing more, and then Sunday be good. I feel bad, but it's not like I'm one of those that doesn't show up to practice much. I'm one of those that doesn't give it his all the time. And some days I just, like, it's not actually even the meds today. Just, okay, come on, let's see if I can get this. I have a bum shoulder, and I'm probably gonna get my pads off easier than a skill player. Ow! Jesus. Probably should have brought the brace thing. I'll show you guys have some footage about team.
En ik til hem op zo en ik voel zo. En dan heb je ook nog corona.
Zo was het. Oh, niet vergeten! Nangi. Radio. You got that was high. Don't say I'm going for him. Space. What time?
It didn't go anywhere.